Shabbat Shalom, we are beginning. And for those of you joining in online, for a reason that will become clear, for a few reasons that will become clear, we're using a different Siddur, but I'll announce a few pages for those of you who have the Lev Shalem at home. We're beginning this evening with the Shalom Aleichem in the Siddur Sim Shalom, that's the blue. Shalom Aleichem is on page 722. In Lev Shalem, it's page number 5. Siddur Sim Shalom is the Siddur that we as a congregation, as a community, used for a generation. I'll be talking about this again in just a moment. But for now, we're beginning with Shalom Aleichem, and we are thrilled beyond description to have Yehuda here on the Beamer for Guitar Shabbat. Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharetz, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leShalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Nil Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Zeichem leShalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Luchun Ranana in the Sim Shalom on page 254. Luchun Ranana in the blue and Sim Shalom is on page 254. For those joining in at home in Lev Shalem, page number 11. Luchun Ranana, again, this is the melody that Yehuda composed, which means, come on, let's sing along together, page 254.
Hello. Ria na Ria, let's yishenu. Ekad mafona betoda. Ria na Ria, let's yishenu. Bizmi rotna rialo. Chuneranina, Chuneranina, la 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 la, the Chuneranina. Ria na Ria, let's yishenu. Ekad mafona betoda. Ria na Ria, let's yishenu. Bizmi rotna rialo. Chuneranina, Chuneranina, la 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 la, the Chuneranina, 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 la 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 la, the Chuneranina, the Chuneranina.
We're supposed to sing. The song sheet, Shir Ladonai, Shir Chadash follows, naturally. And again, Yehuda composed this melody and these words, a contemporary take on a psalm from 3,000 years ago. I wonder how excited David would be, the original David, if he were able to know that Yehuda has taken hold of his words, brought a contemporary melody and a contemporary slant, but inspired by his words to the descendants 100 generations later. Shiru.
Shiru Adonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru Adonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Adonai, Baruch Hu Shmo, Bazru Miyam, Yom Yeshua Tzov. Sing to God a new song. Sing to God, all land. Sing to God, praise His name, and tell of His saving hand. Shiru Adonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru Adonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Adonai, Baruch Hu Shmo, Bazru Miyom, Yom Yeshua Tzov. Sing to God a new song. Sing to God, all land. Sing to God, praise His name, and tell of His saving hand. Shiru Adonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru Adonai, Kol Haaretz.
Shkoyach. And following that, we have the next song sheet, He That Keepeth Israel. This comes from the book of Psalms. The early part of the Friday evening service is psalmic in nature, and the song sheet here that we have song sheets on the back table, is entitled He That Keepeth Israel. It comes from the book of Psalms, Psalm 121.4, and the phrasing here in the phonetic and also English, Hine Eloheinu v'lo yishan shomer Yisrael, which means that God who keepeth Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps. Hine Eloheinu.
Hine lo yanun v'lo yishan, lo yanun v'lo yishan. Hine lo yanun v'lo yishan, shomer Yisrael. He that keepeth Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps, slumbers nor sleeps, neither slumbers nor sleeps. He that keepeth Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps, slumbers nor sleeps. Hine lo yanun v'lo yishan, lo yanun v'lo yishan. Hine lo yanun v'lo yishan, shomer Yisrael. He that keepeth Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps, slumbers nor sleeps, neither slumbers nor sleeps. He that keepeth Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps, slumbers nor sleeps.
to the large song sheet, you might say, the larger one, the one that has a lot of Hebrew and a lot of English, a number of different stanzas. Begins with Ma Tovu Olech Yaakov. We call this the main song sheet because this is the main song sheet that we use during Guitar Shabbat. Ma Tovu Olech Yaakov. How beautiful it is that we see each other in a shared place. Ma Tovu Olech Yaakov. It's again on the top of the song sheet.
Matzovu, Matzovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Shkanatecha Yisrael, Matzovu, Matzovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Shkanatecha Yisrael, V'ani v'robastecha, Ahavo v'tzecha, Shtachavei el chodshcha, V'yiratecha, Matzovu, Matzovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Shkanatecha Yisrael, Matzovu, Matzovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Shkanatecha Yisrael.
And on the heels, Romamu Adonai Eloheinu, literally, lift up your voices, sing with gusto, El Adonai Eloheinu, to God, V'yishtacha v'leharkacho, worship at God's holy mountain. We're not at a mountain, but by being here, we're elevating ourselves and each other. Romamu.
Romemu Adonai Eloheinu V'shtachavu lehakodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu V'shtachavu lehakodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu V'shtachavu lehakodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu V'shtachavu lehakodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu V'shtachavu lehakodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu V'shtachavu lehakodsho.
The Charodi is a song. It's not a psalm. And now we're transitioning. In the Sim Shalom, the Blue Siddur, we're on page 262. Charodi is a song composed about 500 years ago by a group of mystics. They wanted to put a new face on what it means to have Shabbat coming in to their experience. So they literally called it Kabbalah, which means to receive and welcome Shabbat. And the Charodi was written for that purpose. On page 262 in the Sim Shalom in the Blue Siddur, the first two stanzas on page 262, the concluding two stanzas on 264. For those joining in at home, still if you're holding the Lev Shalem in your hands, it's page 23, the first two, page 25, the last two. But again, here in our shul, Sim Shalom, page 262 and 264.
Lechado li kratkala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Chado li kratkala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad, Hishmi'anu elam yuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, L'shimon tiferet baliti la. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat u'b'nelcha, Ki mikor havracha, Rosh mikedem nesucha, Sofa se Shabbatila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Yaminus mod tiferotzi, Yet Adonai taritzi, Al yadish ben partzi, B'nisim hanakla. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Ohi v'shalom atzert bala, Gam v'simcha v'tzola, Toch emunei am zegla, Ohi chala. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Remaining standing. Laughter and joy. Let's laugh together. Excellent. Keep on laughing. They remind us to laugh. On page 267, on the English side of Sim Shalom, page 267. For those joining in at home, it's page number 28. The last four stanzas on the English side. And the righteous probably would have been hearing Lily's reminder to laugh. Laughter, pure joy, is another dimension of being a righteous person, to celebrate and to bring something into the world that's worth celebrating. The bottom four stanzas on the English side. The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. They shall thrive like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of the Lord, they shall flourish in the courts of our God. They shall bear fruit even in old age. They shall be ever fresh and fragrant. They shall proclaim, the Lord is just. He is my rock in whom there is no flaw. Remaining standing the Borcho in the Sim Shalom on page 279 in Lev Shalem 39a. Baruch hu et Adonai amavorach. Baruch Adonai amavorach le'olam voed. And we are seated. The first bracha on the English side. Page 281 below the line, the bottom, the very bottom stands on page 281 on the English side. Beloved are you, eternal God, by whose design the evening falls, by whose command dimensions open up, and eons pass away, and stars spin in their orbits. You set the rhythms of day and night. The alternation of light and darkness sings your creating word. in rising sun and in spreading dusk. Creator of all, you are made manifest. Eternal, everlasting God, may we always be aware of your dominion. Beloved are you, Lord, for this hour of nightfall. El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu l'amved, baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'ariv aravim. On page 283 in the top stanza, one English line, one Hebrew line, and then turning to the main song sheet. It's the top of the page, the last bracha on the English side and Hebrew side. Praised are you, Lord, who loves his people, Israel. V'avotecha al tasir mimenu l'olamim, baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. And on the main song sheet, it's Ahavat Olam. It's in the center of the page, the English Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat Olam, Ahavat Olam, Be'hi Yisrael, Ahamta. All the world sings to you, the world sings to you. All the world sings to you, the world sings to you. The song of the trees when wind stirs their leaves. Song of the earth when rain soothes its thirst. The song of the sea when her waves are set free. The song of the sky when hummingbirds fly. Ahavat Olam, Ahavat Olam, Be'hi Yisrael, Ahamta. All the world sings to you, the world sings to you. All the world sings to you, the world sings to you. The song of the trees when wind stirs their leaves. Song of the earth when rain soothes its thirst. The song of the sea when her waves are set free. The song of the sky when hummingbirds fly. Ahavat Olam, Ahavat Olam, Be'hi Yisrael, Ahamta. All the world sings to you, the world sings to you. All the world sings to you, the world sings to you.
In Sim Shalom Shema is on page 284. In Lev Shalem it's on page 41. Shema Yisrael
Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha. Ve'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alecha. V'shinantam levanecha v'dibartam bam. V'shivtecha v'vitecha u'v'lechtecha b'derech u'shachvecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam le'yahud al yadecha ve'hayu l'totafot b'neinecha u'ktabtam al mezuzot betecha u'v'hisharecha.
A few moments of silence in Sim Shalom on page 286. In Lev Shalem on page number 42. Adonai Elohechem emet. The small English stanza at the very bottom of 289 in Sim Shalom. The world is in need of redemption, but the redemption must not be expected to happen as an act of sheer grace. Our task is to make the world worthy of redemption. Our faith and our works are preparations for ultimate redemption. On page 290, Mi Chamocha, reminder that Yehuda composed this melody, Mi Chamocha, page 290.
Mi chamocha ba'alim Adonai, Mi chamocha ner b'kodesh, Nora tehilo tosefele, Nora tehilo tosefele, Malchutecha uvanecha, Okeyam lifnei Moshe, Zeli anu ve'amru, Adonai loch le'lam vayed, Dai 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 dai, Dai 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 dai, Da 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 da. Yechamocha ba'alim Adonai, Yechamocha ner b'kodesh, Nora tehilo tosefele, Nora tehilo tosefele, Nora tehilo tosefele.
Malchutecha ra'uvanecha, Bokeyam lifnei Moshe, Zeli anu v'yamru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, V'ne'emar, Ki fada Adonai et Yaakov, Ugalo mi'ad chazak mimenu, Baruch ata Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. If you look at the top of page 292, you see the Hashkivenu, which is familiar to us from the Red Seed or the Lev Shalem, and reminding us that this bracha, this paragraph, was first composed 2,000 years ago, seeking an appreciation for ourselves and the ear of the other, to have a night of peace, of calm, freedom from anxiety and worry and fear. And if you look at the song sheet, the main song sheet, you have the little bit of a Hashkivenu. It's an excerpt with a transliteration here. And this is a melody that Yehuda brings to us with a great deal of love. It's the contemporary piece. Love and hope and care, imbuing a new meaning in words that have been around for a long, long time. Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu le'shalom, le'hamidenu malkeinu le'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu le'shalom, le'hamidenu malkeinu le'chaim. Ufros aleinu Sukkot shlomecha, Echayim shalom, me'ata ve'ad olam. Sometimes I lay under the moon, and I thank God I'm breathing. Then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. For when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around. And all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more wars. Our children will pray one day, one day, one day. One day, one day, one day. It's not about win or lose, 'cause we all lose when they beat on the souls of the innocent, blood-drenched pavement. Keep on moving, though the water stays raging. In this maze, you can lose your way, your way. It might drive you crazy, but don't let it phase you. No way, no way. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. But when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around. And all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more wars. Our children will play one day, one day, one day. One day, one day, one day. One day, one day, one day. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, Hamidenu malkeinu lechai. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, Midenu malkeinu lechai.
Ufros Oleinu Sukat Shlomecha, Baruch Atah Adonai, HaPorei Sukat Shalom Aleinu, V'al Kol Amo Yisrael, V'al Yerushalayim. V'shamru Sim Shalom, page 294, Lev Shalem 46.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. והנה בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבב בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בעגלה בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבא מברך לעולם לעולמי עולמי. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitparvta v'yinaseh v'yithadar v'yitale v'yitalal Shemei dekudasha brichu leila mekol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran b'alma v'imeru amen. An opportunity for silent prayer. We rise in Sim Shalom, the Silent Amida from page 296 to 303, and Leif Shalem, if you're joining it at home, page 47 to 52. A few moments of silent prayer. Every Amida, the main prayer on every occasion of Jewish life, every single time of the day, of the month, of the year, holidays or ordinary time, we always conclude with a prayer for peace. And this is the Shalom Rav. In Sim Shalom, it's the top of page 302. In Leif Shalem, it's the middle stanza of page 51. Shalom Rav, may there be great peace.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amha Tasim Le'olam. Ki ata hu melech adon Lechol HaShalom. Ki ata hu melech adon Lechol HaShalom. Shalom Rav Yisraelam ha Tasim Leolam Shalom Rav or Yisraelam ha Tasim Leolam Tov Enecha Levarech Et Amcha Yisrael V'kol Etzu V'chosha Bishlomecha Shalom Rav or Yisraelam ha Tasim Leolam Shalom Rav or Yisraelam ha Tasim Leolam Tasim Leolam
Shkoyach. Shkoyach. You're wondering why we have the Siddur out tonight. I have to tell you a story. About 3 years ago, our friend Rabbi Scott Kramer, the rabbi in Montgomery, and I were having a conversation. He told me a story. The story he told me was that years ago, when he attended seminary, Rav School as we call it, the very same school which I attended in LA many years ago, but at a different point in time, he became friendly with a Jewish man from Uganda. And this Jewish man from Uganda comes from a community known as the Abba Yudaya. Abba Yudaya. And we know the word Abba because Abba is the Hebrew word for father. Yudaya is the Lugandan way of saying Yehud. Yehud is Jewish. Yehud, that's a Hebrew word. Yudaya, and your ears can do the work. Abba Yudaya means father's a Jew. My ancestors are a Jew. That's the name of the tribe of some 2,000 or more Jewish people living in Uganda in a number of villages scattered in a certain area of Uganda. And Gershom had left Uganda and gone to Los Angeles because he wanted to be a rabbi. And he studied at the seminary, and he met our friend Rabbi Scott Kramer. And Rabbi Scott Kramer became friendly with Gershom. At one point in time, years ago, they had a meeting somewhere else in the U.S. after Gershom had received his ordination. And Rabbi Kramer taught me the song that Gershom had taught Rabbi Kramer. And that's why you need the song sheet out here. And it's at the top of the page. And the name of the Ugandan Jewish rabbi is Rabbi Sizumu. Rabbi Sizumu. And the song that he learned is written in the language of Uganda, and the language of Uganda is Luganda. The translation is, how lovely it is for all people to sit together as brothers and sisters in peace. And you and I know, Hine matovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. And there are many melodies. And the melody that Rabbi Sizumu taught Rabbi Kramer is, Hine matovu manaim hu, shevet yachim gam yachad hu. Hine matovu manaim hu, shevet yachim gam yachad hu. Translated into, Lava buek ulio kulungi buek kusan yusa, abaluganda okutula. Lava buek ulio kulungi buek kusan yusa, abaluganda okutula. What an exciting experience that Rabbi Gershom left Uganda, went to Los Angeles, met Rabbi Kramer, who obviously ended up in Montgomery, became friendly with our community. And about 2 years ago, I taught you this song on one of the high holidays. How beautiful it is that people of all different backgrounds can come together and be as brothers and sisters. And just think about what it means that a Ugandan Jew who was learning and yearning to be better educated, having been taught by his ancestors, traveled to Los Angeles and learned Jewish tradition. And that tradition has gone from Uganda to Montgomery, across the world, and now in Mobile. This is the Siddur that you and I, over the past decades, grew up with. This Siddur came into American Jewish life in 1985. And it's always been a part of my heart because the name Sim Shalom is the name of the paragraph in the Jewish liturgy that contains the term Ahavas Chesed. The name of our synagogue is found in the paragraph known as Sim Shalom. And so when this Siddur was first introduced in 1985 across the US and Canada, it was indicating that a boy from Connecticut was going to come to Mobile, Alabama, and become attached in great love to Ahavas Chesed. And furthermore, every Jewish person affiliated with conservative synagogues was going to be excited about that experience. I want you to open the cover, and I want you to see the decal. Some of us grew up at various stages in our synagogue and temple lives, and we would see a decal or a declaratory passage of some type on the interior cover, and it told a story about somebody being born, somebody being remembered, a death, an anniversary, a mazel tov, an expression of care. And this is the decal that's been part of this synagogue culture since 1985 when the Siddurim first came into this congregation. I received a picture 3 days ago from a friend of mine. He's a Los Angeles rabbi. He's a friend of my sister's, my brother-in-law's, because he's been at a certain synagogue in LA for many years. We've known each other for decades. He was involved in some of the B'nai Mitzvah and a couple of the weddings of our nieces and nephews from my sister. She was a preschool teacher in his synagogue for many, many years. And his name is Adam. And Adam, a year ago, had planned a trip to Uganda. And he sent me a picture 3 days ago, and he said, guess what I found? And he had a picture of one of our Siddurim. Yes. And I almost fell off my chair when I was looking at the email from Rabbi Adam Klickfeld of Los Angeles Temple Beth Am, who had a picture of one of our Siddurim. And now you remember that about 2 years ago, I mentioned to the shul that we had sent 2 or 3 cartons of Siddurim to a small Jewish community in Uganda. They couldn't afford prayer books of their own, and we were becoming a bit more established with the Lev Shalem, and these have been sitting in a closet, waiting for our touch to make the world different. And now we know, because Adam Klickfeld, who's from LA, just got back to LA 3 days ago, sent us a picture of one of our Siddurim in a village in Uganda. And I am thrilled. I haven't had a chance to call Adam yet because he's still catching up. He's the rabbi of a synagogue with 1,000 members. It's an enormous shul. They've got a school, they've got a day school, you name it, they have it. They have this property, they've got a rooftop gym, you name it, they've got it. An enormous chapel, a beautiful place, lots of staff, lots of Jewish people. It's in LA. But they don't have what we have. Because Adam Klickfeld from Temple Beth Am, which occupies an entire corner of La Cienega and Olympic avenues and roads, doesn't have this, but we do. Because a small synagogue in Mobile, Alabama, where the heck is that? 2 years ago, recognizing that we were established enough and we were no longer using Siddurim, opened our minds and our hearts, and we shared Siddurim with a community that needs prayer books. And the touch of Ahavas Chesed, which is named from inside this prayer, Sim Shalom, has been ongoing and felt in a village that I don't know where it is, in Uganda for the past 2 years. How's that for a story? And that's why we have this Siddur out this Shabbat. It's not just throwback, it's not just nostalgia, but it's because you and I this week are witnesses to what my colleague from LA shared with me and now shared with all of us, that the Siddurim that we donated 2 years ago are being put to good use in a village somewhere in Uganda by Jewish people who are Jewish. They are the descendants of the Yudaya, just as you and I are the descendants of the Yehud. And you and I can guess that Jewish people living in Uganda may not look exactly like us, and their melodies may be a little bit different, and their accents may be just a little bit different, but the words are the same, at least on the Hebrew side. And when you and I say, Hine Matov U'Marayim, behold how beautiful it is that Jewish people can come and dwell together, and we have a sense of unity and cohesion, you and I now know on a very deep level that our touch has gone to Africa, of all places. On this Shabbat, when there's so much challenge in the world, so much upset and distress and conflict, we as Jews need to remember that we can celebrate the good and the love and the caring and the touch that we bring into the world in ways that we may not ever anticipate being revealed. Because who would have expected that a rabbi in LA, taking his large synagogue trip to Uganda, would have bumped into Ahavas Chesed from Mobile? Our touches are going out in the world. May you and I take pride in the touches that we have, and may we continue to bring our touches of care, of devotion, of community, of hope, and of love every single day. Quiet touches, essential touches. We say Amen. Amen. We rise the Aleinu in Sim Shalom, page 320, in Lev Shalem, page 56. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol latet gedula leotzer breshit shelo asanu kgoye aratzot velo samanu k'mishpachot adamam shelo sam chelkeinu kahem v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam V'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu shehu noteh shamayim v'yosed haaretz u'moshav yekaro b'shamayim mimal u'shchinatu zo Begove Meromim Hu Eloheinu Enod Emet Malkeinu Ebezulatom Kakatu B'Torato V'yadata Yom V'ashevota Elevavecha Ki Adonai Hua Elohim Bashamayim Mimal V'al Haaretz Mitachot Enod Kakatu b'toratecha, Adonai yimloch l'olam va'ed, v'nemar b'haya Adonai, lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, yihyeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. In a moment, Kaddish on page 324. For those joining in from their homes, it's on page 58. And there are some within Jewish communities who choose to remain standing for Kaddish, and others might choose to be seated at this time. On this Shabbat, we remember Paula Lubell, Rabbi Leopold Gutel, Reuben Lubell, Bernice Rossner, Florence Bloom Gaynor, Shirley Weinstein, Esther Preston, Julius Arian, Dora Weinstein, Bunny Liebeskind, Ray Novak, Harris Olinsky, Dorothy Block Parlin, Joseph Schnitzer, Manuel Siegel, Dara Davidoff Brown, Jules Cohen. Is that your daddy? John Stern. Are there any other names to mention today? Perhaps those at home have a name to share as well. One other name to mention as we're thinking about all those who were stolen from us when Hamas attacked us on October 7th. Ron Gavili was 24, and he was a police officer, and he was at his own little kibbutz, and he stood against Hamas, and he was killed and taken as a captive, as a bargaining chip into Gaza. And he just came home. His casket came home the day before yesterday, Tuesday, and the funeral was on Wednesday. And whatever could even be said, it can't be said, because for a family and a neighborhood to be in suspension for 844 days until they can say Kaddish is just unheard of. And yes, perhaps they said Kaddish along the way, but they just said Kaddish the day before yesterday at the site of his burial. And Kaddish doesn't talk anything at all about death. There's not one word of sorrow or loss in Kaddish. Every aspect of the Kaddish, which we're going to say in just a moment, and others are saying, talks about hope and faith and an urgent need for peace. And now we're saying it, and that family is saying it. So again, we're on page 324 for Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba, amen. Be'olma divara chirute v'yamlich malchute. B'chaye echon u'v'yom echon u'v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'gala u'v'zaman kariv v'imuru, amen. Yehi shemei rabba mivarach la'olam ul'olmei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitale v'yithalal shemei dekudasha b'richu la'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran ba'olma v'imiru, amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shamaya v'chayim oleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imeru, amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imeru, amen. Our prayers are with you, Michael, every single day, every year. Always. We're almost concluded, but not quite, because prior to Yehuda's singing the concluding song, Yafa, may I ask you to come up just for a moment? Yafa doesn't do speeches, so she asked me to do, I'll do a speech for her. We're thrilled about your beginning an exciting new chapter in your life. And you came here, not counting years, over 3 decades ago. And you and your family jumped in. You didn't have babies yet, and then you had babies, and the babies were here. And you're active in preschool and in too many committees to count, too many activities to count, on the board for the past number of eons. And you made a huge touch in our hearts in lots of ways. That will never be forgotten. That will be remaining with our hearts every single time our hearts beat. Those heartbeats are touched by all of our people who are part of us and by you. And we thank you. We thank you for your touch. We thank you for your love. We thank you for placing Ahavas Chesed at the top of your many lists. And we wish you always success. And you're not getting rid of us because you got to come back. So, and a tree has been planted in Israel in honor of you, the touch. Yafa, for the past number of years, has also been instrumental in beautifying our campus. And as you have brought your love and your vitality and your beauty to us, there's a little bit of that mirrored in Israel through us and our love for you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
We were just grateful. So, and we have a chance to say thank you and we love you, and you can't leave yet at the little oneg that we have in just a few minutes. So, and I think we'll start. Do we have Yehuda? Did we lose Yehuda?
He's here somewhere.
He's here somewhere because he's about to conclude with our conclusion, our concluding song, unless he's, in which case, then, are you? Here we go. And he does it so well. So, Yehuda, you've got a special conclusion tonight. You want to tell us about it?
It's just a James Taylor song that speaks to love and fellowship and friendship. It's pretty. You can play the game, you can act out the part, though it wasn't written for you. Tell me, how do you stand there with your broken heart, afraid of playing the fool? One thing leads to another, it doesn't take any sacrifice. Father and mother, sister and brother, when it feels right, don't think twice. And shower the people you love with love. Show them the way you feel. Things are gonna work out fine if you only will. And shower the people you love with love. Show them the way you feel. Things are gonna be just fine if you only will. You can run, but you cannot hide. And this is widely known. Tell me, what do you do with your foolish pride? You're by yourself alone. Once you tell someone the way that you feel, you can feel it beginning to ease. I think it's true what they say about the squeaky wheel, always getting the grease. And shower the people you love with love. Show them the way you feel. Things are gonna work out fine if you only will. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way you feel. Things are gonna work out fine if you only will.
Shkoyach. Shkoyach. Shabbat Shalom. To all of you, we love you. May God be close to you. Just know you're always part of our hearts. We hope to see you at some point in the near future. Until that point in time, you are a blessing, you are a bracha, and just know that you're always part of who we are. Until next time, Litrot.